Let's now talk about the fillet and chamfer tool. So using fillet, you can add rounded corners, and using chamfers, you can add a straight line along the corners. So the fillet tool is right here, and if you click this arrow, you will see the chamfer tool. I'll start with sketch fillet. Now in this case, you need to start by selecting the entities. Now the selection of entity can be in two different ways. You can select two lines. So I'll select this line, and there we have it, the preview of fillet. Or you can also click directly on the vertex like this. So in both the ways you can select it. Not only that, you can also select different curves. For example, in this case we have arc and a second arc. So I'll select these two and we have a fillet. Also, if you select a line and an arc, you will get a fillet. So in these kind of curves, you can make fillet. So far we have got 4 of these fillets, and all of these are now selected here. If you want to remove any of these selections, for example, if you want to remove this selection, then select, right click and select delete. Selection 3 is now gone, and that is this one. Alright, now I just want to add the radius. The radius currently is 10 mm. Now, if you want to just accept 10 mm radius for each of these fillets that you are applying, click on OK. But if you want all of these fillets to have separate radii, then check this box. And then radius will be added 10 unit for all of these, but then you can control all the radii separately using different dimensions. So let me first make it using single dimension. So I'll uncheck this. So now every single fillet will have just one dimension. So I'll just click here, and there it is. So we just have one dimension. So I'll double click this. Let me first click OK. All right, I'll double click this and I'll just make it 5 unit and enter. And as you can see, this changed the fillet everywhere. If I, however, make it, let's say 10 again, it will once again change the fillet everywhere. All right, let's make it again. So I'll go to fillet, and once again, I'll make selection, but now I'll make it in a different way. So I'll just make a window kind of like this, a big window. And here you'll notice that all of these edges which are inside the window are now selected. So if you want to make a quick selection, you can do this using this kind of method. Now I want them to have different fillet radii, and for that I'll keep this one checked. I'll click OK, and every single fillet now has a different radius which you can change separately. For example, if you want to change this, let's just click OK one more time, double click here, and let's just change it to maybe 20 unit. There we have it. It changed separately. It is not going to affect all the other fillets. All right, let's press Ctrl Z a couple of times so that we are back to the main sketch. And now we'll talk about adding chamfers. So I'll go to the same drop down and select chamfer. Now in this case, you have two options of making chamfer. First is angle distance, second is distance. In this case, second option is selected, so I'll keep that one checked. Now distance also has two methods, either equal distance or unequal distance. Let's select equal distance. Again, you can select two lines or just an edge. And when you select an edge, well, it will apply the chamfer of distance 10 unit uniformly on both of these sides. So we have it right here. This is 10 from this point to this, and 10 from this point to this. I'll click OK, and we have the chamfer. So I'll double click this and I'll just make it, well, let's say 12 unit. And there we have it. Now these dimensions are linked. As you can see, we have the chain link icon, which indicates they are linked. So if I change this, it will change this dimension as well. All right, now let's see what other chamfer options we have. So I'll go to chamfer again, and this time I'll uncheck this equal distance option and I'll add unequal distances. So I'll type maybe 12 unit directly. Now this is D1, which is 10, D2 is 12. So if I click on this line will become D1. If I click on this next, it will become D2. So depending on which line you click first, well, the order of D1 and D2 will change. Let's make this one D1 and this one D2. Now the distance of D1 was 10. So the distance from this point to this point is 10, and this point to this, it's 12. Click OK, and we have unequal chamfer distances here. And finally, the angle chamfer. Let's go to chamfer and select angle distance. 10 is the distance, 45 is the angle. Let's keep it that way, and maybe we'll select this one now. And there we have it. So we have the 45-degree angle with the distance of 10 unit. All right, click here, and you can also change this parameter later on. I mean, once you have added this, you can double click and always make it something else like 30 unit. And that's how you can add fillets and chamfers.